Treasury Secretary now says Social Security fund could actually last longer than what we originally were told. Do you believe it? I don't, but I'll explain that more coming up. My name is Mike Bernard. I'm the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. All right, for years, you've been getting these statements in the mail, these Social Security statements in the mail with the green border, the green text, and all that stuff. And once a year, 3 months before your birthday, you'd open it up and you'd see how much money of yours the government has that they say they're going to give back to you when you are older, and how much your Social Security would be. And they don't do those anymore, okay? You now have to log in, get online, and the statements look a little bit different, have a little more information. But if you remember those green statements, they also had a disclaimer on there that the Social Security Trust Fund has been used up and blah, 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 and that current benefit levels would be able to be maintained for X number of years before adjustments would need to be made, okay? And from what I remember, they've changed these numbers, but I remember those old statements saying, you know, the payments would be able to be paid out at this level until 2037, and they've changed the dates and so on. And then Social Security would go insolvent, all right, which doesn't mean Social Security stops and goes away, but the benefit levels drop to match the level of current funding, which is about 80%. So your Social Security would drop about 20%. Scary idea, okay? Well, listen, that was back when we were getting those green statements. Since then, what's happened? They haven't just changed the statements. We went through the COVID recession, and where we had the steepest drop in unemployment ever, and yes, followed by a significant recovery and all of that. But the most recent, other than this study that I'm about to show you, most recent was, hey, Social Security fund isn't going to last until 2037. It's actually going to run out in 2033. That's right, 11 years from now, okay? So Congress, you're going to need to act. You're going to need to make some adjustments here because we don't have a lot of time before we're going to reach crisis. Well, there's good news, everyone. Okay, I'm not going to be mean. There's good news. Janet Yellen, Treasury Secretary, came out and said they've run a new analysis for this year, and the good news is the Social Security fund will now last longer, okay? How much longer? 1 year. The new projection says that they should be able to pay out benefits as normal through 2034, but really, so that's not a big change, although they're touting that it is not a big enhancement. They're saying it is. The big enhancement is disability payments, which is significant, you know, very, very important. We all sort of trust and rely on that as a safety net. That now can last up to 75 years based on this new analysis. That's fantastic news on the disability. Not shocking news, not alarming news, not exciting news, in my opinion, by moving it from 2033 to 2034, that the Social Security benefits would be able to be paid out as normal. Now, to determine whether you should be excited about this, maybe this trend is going to continue. That the next analysis after this, they'll move it to 2035. Pretty soon it'll be back to 2037, and with no big changes, pretty soon they'll push it on out even further. Well, in order to know that, let's look into why they actually say this report now is revealing a little bit better news. Number one, they say that the recovery post-COVID has been stronger than expected. Well, of course, yep. Also, they have made some adjustments in their assumptions about GDP and earnings and all of that. And then, yeah, the payments that go into Social Security is through FICA, that four-letter F word that we all pay on for our earnings, that tax on, up to $147,000. And the Medicare portion continues beyond that, by the way. But as the job market has recovered faster than what they expected, there's more wages paying into the Social Security system, and that all makes sense. Here's why I'm holding this, with an open hand. Guys, I'm not super excited about this, even though the headline suggests that, oh, this is good news, and certainly the Treasury Secretary is trying to spin it that way. Guys, this is we before the big recession, before the COVID recession, we were projecting out till 2037. Still not a long time, okay? We have a recession, and that projection goes down. And as we emerge The economy is significantly stronger and has been even hotter than before COVID, before the COVID recession. We're saying we didn't go back to 2037, we've only gone back 1 year. Guys, this to me, if unemployment is at unbelievably low levels, the economy, there's lots of economists predicting a recession. Things do seem to be slowing down. I hope we don't see a recession, but things seem to be slowing down. Federal Reserve monetary policy is going to try to start tightening the economy and making things a little bit challenging or not as speculative in the overall economy. All of that suggests that these current levels of GDP and the current employment levels currently might not be sustainable. So the projections that excitingly moved this the Social Security trust fund to move the projection from 2033 to 2034, I would argue aren't sustainable either, right? We're likely going to see another recession in the next 18 to 24 months. Hopefully not, but if we do, or unemployment levels go up a little bit, it's going to be hard to imagine that the economy is now on a even keel and a sustainable pace to just ride on off here. I disagree, guys. I hope I'm wrong, but I disagree. Here's the thing. Even if I am wrong and this report is right, fixing Social Security for 1 year is not a fix. They're not claiming it to be, but that's not an improvement. It's not a true fix. We've got to make adjustments to Social Security, and as much as you and I would like to argue it, we experimented with cutting people's pay and shutting down the economy and all that sort of stuff back in COVID. I think it's extremely unlikely that the government, Congress, is just going to allow benefits to be cut. It's going to come, the changes are going to come in an increase, either an increase in tax or a reduction of benefits in some way out there in the future. So that could mean you're going to start paying Social Security taxes on more of your wages. It could mean more of your Social Security is going to be taxable in the future. It could mean for people in their 40s, 30s, whatever, that you're not going to be able to collect your Social Security for later. There's going to be some sort of changes because we're still, whether it's 11 years or 12 years, we're still very, very close to that insolvency time period. And therefore, our backs are against the wall. We're going to need to make some changes with Social Security. So what do you do with this information? Number one, I wouldn't buy into the headline that, wow, this great report came out, Social Security is going to last longer than what you thought. Not really, guys, I doubt it, okay? So I would make sure that you've run a full 5-factor retirement plan and you know what you're relying on your Social Security to do for you, okay? And then work on some trade-offs. Stress test your Social Security, or stress test your retirement plan. See what would happen if Social Security is reduced. See if you can contribute more, how that would help your retirement plan. Work with your certified financial planner. Walk through that 5-factor retirement plan. Stress tests what Social Security adjustments could do to your future retirement portfolio and your retirement plan. If you don't have a CFP that can help you with that, you can contact one on my team. Find us online, Korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with K. WiseMoneyShow.com. You can find us there as well. Or give us a call, 574-247-5898. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.